So the Department of Defense is mobilizing commercial airline flights to help with the United States evacuation efforts. They're taking 3 planes from American Airlines, 3 from Atlas Air, 3 from Delta Air, 3 from Omni Air. Who's Omni Air?
I don't know.
I don't know either. 2 from Hawaiian and 4 from United. Now, these planes are not going to fly into Kabul. They're not military planes. They're going to go to third countries and then fly people out from third countries. So in other words, when you fly out of Kabul now, whether you're an American or you are an Afghan escaping the violence in Afghanistan, you have a connecting flight. That's basically it now. You don't get to fly direct to your final destination. They're going to do short trips out of Kabul because they want to use the military planes to get as many people out. So it obviously makes sense to do shorter military flights and then let the U.S. commercial airlines fly Americans and then fly Afghans who are escaping to other countries, whether it's the United States or some other third-party waypoint. That way the American military doesn't have to fly across the Atlantic and back. That way they'll get more flights out of Afghanistan. They're actually activating 18 commercial flights. So it's going to be 18 flights from third countries. So obviously they believe that the U.S. military is going to be able to airlift at least 18 U.S. military flights out of Kabul every day to get people onto these American airline flights. That's going to probably be a flight per hour, if you think about it.
Right.
It's especially with trying to figure out who to get on the plane and with all the craziness that's going on there. That's a lot. Now, this is only the 3rd time in the history of the United States that this program where they bring American commercial airlines to help the military has ever been used. It was also used as part of Operation Desert Shield and Storm and Operation Iraqi Freedom, which was the Persian Gulf War I and Persian Gulf War II. And that was used to bring American troops to the front lines of the battlefield. They would bring the flights to third countries, and then the military would fly them in much quicker flights from that third particular country, neighboring, I guess, Iraq or Saudi Arabia, wherever they were flying into. Point being is that the U.S. commercial airlines are never in danger because they're in safe airspace, and the military obviously is in the more non-secure airspace. Meanwhile, thousands are still crowding the airport in Kabul, hoping to be evacuated to safety. 7 Afghans were reportedly crushed to death on Saturday when trying to get into the airport gates, including a 2-year-old, daughter of a former interpreter. Families are being separated. There's a video that's going around of a baby being hoisted over the razor wire to a U.S. Marine. Did you see that?
Oh my God.
On Sunday, President Biden said the U.S. military has already evacuated nearly 28,000 people from Kabul since August 14th, and the military has expanded the secure perimeter around the airport. One of the biggest issues is that ISIS is reportedly, that's the terror group, is now posing a threat to the airport, forcing the United States to set up different ways to get to the airport. There's no direct way to the airport right now.
Wow.
Because apparently ISIS fighters are stopping people, threatening people, perhaps harming people. We don't know. I'm not there. Now, humanitarian workers reportedly warn that 35 million Afghan civilians are in need of help amid rising food costs, bank closures, and little or no internet.
Jeez.
A bipartisan group of governors has offered to accept Afghans who are being forced out of their country. Governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, said, Utah was settled by refugees fleeing religious persecution. We understand the pain caused by forced migration and appreciate the contributions of refugees in our communities. Cox wrote a letter to President Biden offering to, quote, assist with the resettlement of individuals and families fleeing Afghanistan. Maryland Governor Larry Hogan noted in a video statement his state's history of taking in refugees with special immigrant visas. In South Carolina, Governor Henry McMaster told reporters it's our duty to help the Afghans. Meanwhile, Mitch McConnell has called the Biden administration's exit from Afghanistan a shameful failure of American leadership. He said in a statement, the rapid advance of Taliban was expected. The plight of innocent Afghans was predicted. The challenges of safely evacuating U.S. personnel and innocent Afghans have been magnified by our inexplicable withdrawal from Bagram Air Base. On Sunday, Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut set the record straight. He tweeted, over the last decade, Republicans have pushed to intentionally create a massive backlog for the special immigrant visa program, the one we use to bring Afghan partners to America. That is true. Obama asked to increase the special immigrant visa program. It was rejected by the Republicans. Trump was supposed to accept 10,000 Afghan interpreters every year for the 4 years he was in office. Despite that, they've only accepted 17,000, leaving 23,000 unused visas over the 4 years. So Trump definitely made it harder for Afghans to come in. You know, the bottom line is this. From a political standpoint, this is what Biden's thinking. Nobody ever votes a president in or out of office because of foreign relations. Americans care about two things when it comes to voting: their pocketbook and their safety. That is it. So Americans never vote about foreign policy.
Right.
So he's making a bet right now. And the bet that Biden is making is that people will forget all of this by the time elections roll around. And I don't think many people are going to go into a voting booth in a year from now and say, well, Biden screwed up Afghanistan, so I'm not going to vote for him. You know, history, first President Bush, he was riding a wave of 92% approval rating right after the first Persian Gulf War, about 10 months before the election campaign with Bill Clinton. He was a winning commander of a war. He lost the election because people didn't like the fact that they were paying more taxes.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton, when he went into office, if you remember what happened, remember the movie Black Hawk Down? When the helicopter crashed and 20 U.S. or more servicemen died in a botched military procedure in Somalia. And they were saying the same exact thing, what they're saying with Biden. He's a terrible leader. He doesn't know what he's doing. America looks weak, blah, 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 blah. It was all forgotten about by 1996 with the re-election. And he won again, obviously. So Biden is counting on history again.
Gotcha.
There was no right time ever to leave Afghanistan. The fact is, $2.3 trillion of American taxpayer money, it's a lot of money, was spent on Afghanistan, and in the end, we have nothing to show for it. We could have spent another 20 years there and still have nothing to show for it other than another $2.3 trillion in taxpayer money. So when everybody goes and pays their taxes and says, what the heck is my taxes going for? $2.3 trillion went to Bagram Air Force Base in Afghanistan. Now, did Biden leave properly? Did he secure American safety? Did he secure Afghans who helped our safety? No. Is he making America look bad at the moment? Absolutely. Did he or his administration do a terrible job leaving Afghanistan and leaving this country in the disaster it is? Absolutely. But from a cold-hearted standpoint, when he says to himself, from a political standpoint, is this going to hurt my re-election?
He's not.
It's not. It's going to be forgotten about, especially in 30 days from now or 60 days from now, when they pass a $3 trillion bill that expands Medicaid, free colleges for 2-year schools, associate's degrees, free college around the United States of America for associate's degrees, free early education, expanded Medicaid, more infrastructure, jobs for everybody. They're going to forget about Afghanistan very fast. And then part of that's also going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, some sort of immigration amnesty. Friday, the Supreme Court granted the Biden administration an opportunity to fend off a Trump immigration policy that forces thousands to wait in Mexico. Remember that wait in Mexico was overturned. When Trump came into office, the way he was stopping people from coming to the United States and applying for asylum was he was metering people. The United States was only accepting a certain amount of asylum applications each day at the border. And if you entered the United States without making that application, you were ineligible to apply for asylum. And you had to wait in Mexico for your number. It was like getting a number at the deli. You ever go to the deli and they say number 88?
No,
and you're sitting there waiting at the bagel store or whatever?
Me is the DMV.
Okay, it's a DMV, same exact thing. And you sit there and wait, you're like, 61, damn.
Right.
64, god damn it. When's they gonna hit 88?
Right.
So it's the same thing, except you're living in a tent in Mexico for month after month after month after month. Months and months and months and months in a tent with no water, no food.
Jeez.
Just hoping that some aid will come to you, waiting for your number to be called, just so you can walk to the border and make an application for asylum. So that was Trump's way of stopping people from coming to the United States of America. Well, obviously, we here at Rad Show Live have been talking about it for years, about how inhumane the conditions were there. Biden said he was going to change those rules on day one. He did. And of course, it's all politics anyway. It's BS politics. So the Republicans sued and said Biden changed the rules without going through proper procedures. So a judge in Texas agreed with the Republicans and put back the old Trump program. And it's the same judge, by the way, who stopped DAPA and DACA and all that other stuff. Same guys from Texas. Same Republican judges. The Supreme Court today ruled that Biden administration can continue to use their current policy of accepting immigrants at the border, paroling them into the United States of America to allow them to see an immigration judge to appear for an asylum interview. That policy is going to stay in effect until the Supreme Court makes a final decision on this, maybe in a year or so from now. It's got to go through various court proceedings up until that point. Biden administration, their position is, we're the president, we can change the rules any way we want. And of course, he can, as long as they do follow proper procedure. So we'll see what happens there. Meanwhile, very fancy hurricane, tropical Henri. I was calling it Tropical Storm and Hurricane Henry.
Nope.
But nope.
Henri. Sounds French.
That's
very
great.
French.
That's what we were calling it here too.
Very
That's what they call it down there?
Yeah, very.
That's how we read it here. I mean, that's my boyfriend's name, so then we just started saying that.
Saying what? Henry or Henri?
Not Henri.
No, he's a Henry.
It's Henry, right. Right, but as soon as you start saying it in French, does it?
Henri.
It's Henri. I'm not even
Henri.
saying it right. Henri. Okay.
Fancy.
Yes, but as soon as you start saying it in French, it becomes very fancy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right. You guys are still drowning up there, though.
Right. It's amazing. If you say, I'd like a baguette, you're like, ooh, that sounds good. I'd like a piece of bread. I don't need the carbs.
Yeah.
You know? It's the same exact thing, right?
Right.
Even well, I was going to say I'll say that for Hump Day.
Yeah, let's do that.
I was going to say something else sounds much fancier in French than. Meanwhile, Hurricane Henri. Hurricane Henri weakened from a Category 1 to a tropical storm. I want you to know, I came back. I thought, the news was making like the world was coming to an end. I was in Atlanta. So I quickly switched my flight to Saturday night instead of, I was coming back on Sunday.
Saturday night was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. I mean, we circled around Washington, D.C. for an hour.
Yikes.
I thought maybe they were going to reroute us to Detroit. I had no idea. And then finally we landed at LaGuardia, and LaGuardia was a ghost town. I was the only one there.
Yikes.
Other than the people who walked off the plane with me. And then I walked into, basically it was cats, dogs, cows, everything was raining on my head. You know? But 1.94 inches of rainfall fell in Central Park. The We Love New York City, the homecoming concert, had to be canceled halfway in the middle. And then there's been some other bad weather events on Saturday in Humphreys County in Middle Tennessee. Local officials said that at least 21 people are confirmed dead. 20 others remain missing after severe flash flooding was there as well. Seems to me weather's getting crazier and crazier, Vanessa.
Oh, it is. It is.
Scary.
Tropical Storm Henri.
Henri.
Not Henry.
No. The French.
Just had to make sure that we were pronouncing it properly.
We are.
All right, and in vaccine news, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration granted full approval of the Pfizer COVID vaccine for people aged 16 and older today. They've been saying, wait till you get full approval. Everybody's now going to race. Those unvaccinated will be racing to get their vaccinations. There was a poll done by the Kaiser Family Foundation that said 1 out of 3 unvaccinated people will get vaccinated now that Pfizer has been fully approved by the FDA. I doubt it. I doubt that poll.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that Kaiser got those results. I'm not saying they're lying. I'm just saying that the people that they're polling is lying. Right? Just like, because they don't want to sound they don't want to sound dumb when they say, well, how come you won't take the vaccine? Oh, I'll just wait until it's approved. Then I'll think about it. It's like the same people who said they weren't voting for Trump and then did. Right? Remember all the polls said Hillary was winning?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they went in and they're like, I was embarrassed to say I was voting for Trump, and then they voted for Trump. Same situation here. But you know what's going to happen?
What?
They're going to start mandating vaccines at your workplace. That's what's going to happen. You couldn't mandate vaccinations at a workplace until the vaccine became fully authorized by the FDA. It was being done under emergency use authorization. So legally you couldn't say you must be vaccinated. Or at least you could say you legally could be vaccinated, but you didn't have as much to stand on as you do now. So that now within hours of the Pfizer being fully approved by the FDA as safe and a useful vaccine, if you are in the military, you must be vaccinated. If you work in the New York City school systems, you must be vaccinated. Mississippi State Department, who else has to be vaccinated? There's a whole group. I don't know where my list is, but there's a whole group somewhere. Lots of governments, like the Louisiana state government, you must be vaccinated. We'll get you the whole list. I'm sure there'll be more people coming in with that soon. Meanwhile, you see Reverend Jesse Jackson and his wife
have COVID.
Yeah. And they're not well to begin with.
Right.
But supposedly they are doing better now. I hope they are out of the hospital soon. I'm sure they're getting treatment, so I'm sure the treatment they're getting is similar to what Trump got. The remdesivir, which is if you get the remdesivir supposedly within several days of being found positive for COVID, it is a worthwhile treatment to get. They have a lot more remdesivir now than they did even 3 months ago. I went to when I had COVID, I went to 2 hospitals to try to get it, and they wouldn't give it to me.
Nope.
And they said, get out. You and your COVID, get out of my hospital. We're not giving you this.
That's wild.
How about bullet 10? Meanwhile, on Saturday, the FDA, yes, it's Fuzzy Monday. Did you see this?
What?
FDA had to put out a statement telling people that ivermectin, an anti-parasitic drug usually used for livestock, should not be used to treat COVID. The warning came after the Mississippi State Department of Health issued a similar statement in response to reports that people in Mississippi are using this horse drug to treat COVID because it's going around the internet that you can use this rather than a vaccine to prevent COVID. On Twitter, the FDA had to write, "You are not a horse, you are not a cow. Seriously, y'all, stop it. Stop taking large doses of this drug. It's dangerous and can cause harm." Are you kidding me?
Why?
Somebody would take a horse drug and not just take the Pfizer vaccine?
This is so backwards. People are so
that
backwards.
Is just, come on, yo-yo.
Not that being the fuzzy.
Come on, that's not fuzzy. Come on, Vanessa. That's not fuzzy. That's ridiculous. All right. All right. So one dog inspired a UK Royal Marine veteran to found an animal sanctuary in Kabul. Apparently, a lot of the military were finding stray dogs and cats in Afghanistan while they were on duty there over the last 20 years. It was set up 15 years ago to help to increase awareness of animal welfare in the country and to rescue stray dogs and abused donkeys. It was while on deployment in Afghanistan in 2006 that UK Royal Marine Paul Pen Farthing, he's now 52 years old, and he and his troops broke up a fight between 2 dogs in the town of Nozad, and one of them followed him back home. All right, British police breaking up the fight between the dogs. The British military. That's what they were there for. All right, the pair spent the next 6 months together. He was given the name Nozad after the town he was found in. And at the end of his deployment, he sought to bring the dog back to the UK. It was a move that inspired him to reunite other servicemen and women with dogs and cats they had befriended while serving. And the charity says it currently looks after more than 140 dogs, 40 cats, has reunited 1,600 soldiers with dogs and cats that they rescued and bonded with while in Afghanistan. Problem is now, that everybody's leaving Afghanistan.
Right.
What are they going to do with these dogs and cats that are still in the stray shelter? What are they going to do with the people who are caring for them? In an emotional
Yikes.
appeal, Paul Farthing pleaded for the UK government to make an exception for his Afghan staff who would not fall under the 2 existing schemes for interpreters and British government workers to be rescued from Afghanistan. His clinic trained Afghanistan's first fully qualified female veterinarians, but now he fears for their futures. He told
man,
BBC
that's
News, "I don't
good.
think there are words to describe what they are feeling now. We gave people hope, aspirations, dreams for the future. In a matter of weeks, we have just ripped them from them." Now, the British Foreign Affairs Office, in a statement, said on Tuesday, "We are in contact with Mr. Farthing to offer assistance. The government's top priority is to do all we can to deliver to our obligations to British nationals and those who have helped us, and then get them out as fast as we can." So hopefully they will get out the people who are helping with the animals, and also get the animals out to the soldiers who want to be reunited with them.
Adopted them, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Vanessa, you think cats are smart or dumb?
I think they're. I don't like cats, but I think they're smart.
I think they're sneaky smart.
Yeah, I think they're smart. I don't like them though.
They're sneaky
They don't like
smart.
me.
Sneaky smart,
They
right?
hurt.
You know, I shouldn't be asking you. I should be asking Carol. Carol would know, right?
Anderson the Tigress.
Yeah. Well, a recent study concluded that cats are not lazy, but they're pretty smart. Okay, they're not lazy, they're smart cats.
Okay.
Smarty cat, right? That's why you call
smarty
somebody
cat.
a smarty cat.
Wow.
Right? You don't call them a dummy cat.
This is true.
You call somebody a dumb dog. Right? What are you, a dumb dog?
Dogs are pretty smart, I think.
But I think you would call a dumb dog and a smarty cat, right?
I know Smarty Cat.
Yeah. Well, usually they gave cats 2 choices. They could work on a puzzle to figure out how to get their food, or they could just go over to the dish and get their food. So what did they do?
Went over to the dish?
They went over the dish. They're not dummies. Why do I got to work on a puzzle?
Because they don't want to work.
They don't want to work on a puzzle. They went right over. So what the researchers concluded is they're smart. They're not dumb, because most animals would try to work on the puzzle. Yes, a lead author of the study, Mikel Delgado, a cat behaviorist and research affiliate at the UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine, said that this is entire body research that shows that most species, including birds, rodents, wolves, primates, even giraffes, prefer to work for their food. What's surprising is out of all these species, cats are the only ones who don't want to work for their food, and they take the easiest way to get their food, which makes them smart, not dumb.
Okay.
I mean, you can look at the other way. You could say, wow, these are some lazy cats.
Right. I see laziness.
Do you see laziness or smartness?
I see the easy way out.
You're right.
I see lazy.
Yeah, easy way out.
Yeah.
Easy way out. Oh,
It's
I don't
just
like
the way
that.
they were given the choice, but most seem to say, oh, there's food right over here. What do I need to work on a puzzle for? Now, I don't know. I say lazy. I disagree.
It's pretty lazy to me.
That's pretty lazy. What else is happening here? We're late. Let's talk about the orangutan with sunglasses. That's always cute. We could always end with an orangutan with sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
A good way to.
Yes. All right. Now, we always say that apes behave like humans. An orangutan turned into a fashion icon when a woman dropped her sunglasses into the animal enclosure while visiting the Taman Safari Zoo in Indonesia.
What? How does he even know how to...
Yep. He's checking out the glasses. Lolita Testu captured the moment on video after she dropped her sunglasses into the enclosure. In the video, first posted on TikTok, which has now amassed over 7.2 million likes.
Jeez.
There you go, Yo-Yo.
There you go.
Just put on glasses, 7.2 million likes.
Well, you got to be an orangutan to do that.
I just won't. I can do that.
Oh, he threw it.
Yeah.
He threw it back.
Right. I can do that. Just don't shave, wax, or anything for like a year, Go topless, put on sunglasses, the orangutan. Nobody would know the difference. The orangutan walks around the enclosure with her child sporting the stylish sunglasses. This is fantastic
that is
stuff.
So funny.
As the orangutan flicks away her baby who tries to take them off her face. Tetsu said the orangutan hung her sunglasses for about 15 minutes before zookeepers prompted her to throw them back in exchange for a leafy treat. Unfortunately, when he threw them back, the glasses broke.
That is so funny.
Would you put on those glasses anyway?
After?
Yeah. After the orangutan had it for 15 minutes?
I would try to sell it.
I'd have
you
to
can sell everything online.
I'd have to disinfect those.
I would try to sell it.
The orangutan sunglasses.
Yeah, somebody's going to buy it.
Yes.
If they buy air.
Well, yeah, so that would be like the start of bartering up to get a house.
That part.
Right? Right, you bought $50 sunglasses, you sold them for $1,000.
There you go.
Right? And then you go from there.
There you go.
Right?
Absolutely.
But I would barter to get something else. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.